Hello everybody and welcome back to Apple Gaming SE. This is the news and opinions for February 4th through February 10th, 2024. Starting with new subs this week, and man, the channel is just continuing to explode. I got 18 new subs. So last week it was 20, this week it's 18. Currently at 112 subs for the channel, which is ludicrous. Like I thought, halfway through this year, I think I said this last week, I'm thinking like, I'll get 160 subs halfway through the year, but here I am already at 112. So it's like, I don't know, it just seems like it was such a huge goal, and to be so close already is just ridiculous. So thank you everybody, I appreciate you, I continue to appreciate you. The Apple gaming community is exploding. We are invested in this. This is a hobby for many of us. Some of us are making a job out of it. I'm not. I'm just a hobbyist, but I still have a strong passion for this little niche of the technology world. So as far as new subs go, the only one I am afraid that I know for sure has subscribed to me is Vahid May Crossing 86. So Vahid jumped into the Final Fantasy VIII stream past Friday. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying hello. Appreciate you being there. Another one is AestheticBuddyz, dropped into the chat yesterday during the Resident Evil 4 remake stream. AestheticBuddyz sounds like he, I assume he, maybe she, I'm not sure, whatever you are. I'm assuming a he. Sounds like they are excited to get an iPhone 15 Pro Max, which I said, since I am now streaming off of my iPhone onto YouTube, I'm starting to wish I had got a Pro Max as well for the larger screen. Yeah, so anyway, AestheticBuddyz, please in the future drop by, let us know how the iPhone 15 Pro Max is working for you, whether you love it or hate it. We want to know, and let us know what games you're going to be playing on it. So just to keep the community tight-knit around this this kind of focus of gaming in and around the Apple ecosystem. So to everybody listening, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. So now into the news for this week. It is a light news week. We've only got 4 articles we're covering. There just wasn't much happening this week, not in terms of things that were particularly interesting. So the first article comes from 9to5Mac, titled Apple to settle trade secrets lawsuit with chip startup Rivos. Just to give a little context here, for about 2 years ago, Apple opened a lawsuit against Rivos, saying that they were stealing trade secrets. Basically, the company was poaching engineers from Apple in regards to their system-on-a-chip designs. Ultimately, what's happening here is that Apple and Rivos have decided to settle out of court. So they're looking to finalize their agreement by March 15th. They told the judge in the court of San Jose, California. So they're working through the process, and Apple has recently also quietly withdrew a lawsuit against a former executive named Gerard Williams III, who was described as critical to the development of high-performance A-series and M-series Apple silicon chips. Mr. Williams left Apple in 2019 to start up a new chip company called Nuvia, which was acquired by Qualcomm in 2021. So maybe, and this is, again, Apple withdrew the lawsuit, so there's no absolute evidence that or proof that this is the case. But it's possible some of the advances, it's probable some of the advances we've seen in Qualcomm over the last few years has come from a very high quality executive that used to work at Apple. That's not saying that Qualcomm has stolen any Apple designs or engineering schematics or intellectual property, so don't hear what I'm not saying. But anyway, it's interesting that Apple has decided to go ahead and settle or dismiss both of these cases regarding their Apple Silicon designs, and we'll be keeping an eye out in the future for anything similar for sure. Next article comes from Apple Insider. Apple beats its antitrust lawsuit from AliveCor. AliveCor is one of several companies that has opened lawsuits against Apple recently regarding Apple Watch technologies. This was specifically a patent law and antitrust lawsuit. The judge of the case found that Apple was in the right for this. So they are not siding with AliveCor, and this is going all the way back to Watch OS 5 regarding the ECG algorithm that was put in place. So It looks like, according to this article, it shifted from the heart rate path optimizer algorithm to the heart rate neural network. So, AliveCor alleged the algorithm made changes by its smart rhythm feature worse and wanted Apple to leave the original algorithm available to developers. So basically, Apple said, we found something better, we're going to implement this in watchOS 5. AliveCor said that the change was anti-competitive and was basically locking them out of accessing these advanced ECG features of the Apple Watch. So I don't know of anybody else having this specific kind of lawsuit open against Apple at this time, so I feel like this may have been just a strategy for AliveCor to stay relevant in this particular niche of the market. I do not know how big of a market this is, but you know, it's important to them. It's their business model. So unfortunately for them, judge has ruled in the side of Apple. Moving away from lawsuits, iTunes nears death on Windows as Apple launches music, TV, and devices apps for Windows. So basically what was once iTunes is now breaking out into 3 different apps. So we can see it mirrored from what we have on macOS and watchOS, or not watchOS, yeah, watchOS, tvOS, iOS. We'll now see that mirrored on Windows. So to me, it kind of hurts. It kind of sucks to see iTunes go, because iTunes was so wonderful. You know, like, I hated seeing it leave the Mac as well. But the reality is that if you have an Apple TV, and as you scroll through, you're going to see things like the TV app, you're going to see an app for music, you're going to see an app for podcasts and books, and, you know, that kind of deal. So since the devices component for iPhones and iPads is built into Finder on macOS, Apple needs to have something like that similar to Windows that's not just the iTunes app. So since you're doing more than just iPods at this point, it makes sense. I don't like to see it go. There's that part of me that wants iTunes to stay forever, but from a business and marketing standpoint, it just makes a lot more sense. So this keeps the branding the same across all of the Apple services, regardless of which devices you're using. Another part of this is that iCloud on Windows is getting a redesign as well, and it looks a lot closer to the settings app that we see in macOS. So Apple is really pushing hard to unify their design language and philosophy across all platforms. Another week, another Vision Pro story. So now the US government is demanding users not wear Apple Vision Pro while driving, also coming from Apple Insider. So apparently the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, is saying that this is a reminder, all advanced driver assistance systems available today require the human driver to be in control and fully engaged in the driving task at all times. So, you know, there's been an explosion of videos on social media about Apple Vision Pro in public, and these videos look ridiculous, like the guy walking across the crosswalk who's like, he's like reaching his arm back to like grab windows from behind him in the middle of the crosswalk, and some of this stuff is really funny, but it makes me think of how like staged it all looks. It doesn't look like it's real. But the big one is that there is a Cybertruck, a person driving a Tesla Cybertruck, and basically typing away or doing whatever he's doing on his Vision Pro when he's being filmed. The problem is that the Cybertruck has no self-driving features at this point in time, so you're driving a 3-ton vehicle that's stainless steel on the exterior down the highway and not in control of it. Now, it could have been a skit. It could have been somebody next to the driver was holding the wheel, which is still not very safe. So please, y'all, just don't be the driver of your vehicle using a Vision Pro. Goodness. Like, I saw one video of a guy who's on a bus, but he's just a passenger on the bus, and he's doing his thing with his Vision Pro, and everybody around him is just ignoring him. And it's just like, our society has just made this like so normal already. I don't know what that says about our society, that we'll just go, oh, that person's acting strange and doing something weird in public, but whatever, let it go. It's just where we are currently. I don't know where we're going to end up for sure. So yeah, but there's a lot of cool stuff on the Vision Pro. Having had the demo of it last week, I haven't forgotten. Was just a ton of fun. I think it was this week I heard Genshin Impact is going to get optimized and brought to the Vision Pro, so that's super cool. If I ever got a Vision Pro, I might actually play that. I would like to play that, what's that Star Trek Bridge Commander game on the Vision Pro? That would be a lot of fun. I think that would be really cool. There's a ton of, opportunities for awesome virtual reality or augmented reality experiences with this kind of thing. So anyway, that's it this week for Apple News and Opinions. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you all have a great week coming up, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next stream on Friday. It will be Final Fantasy Fridays. We will continue it. I might do a short stream Monday night. We'll just have to see how my schedule works out. Kind of up in the air at the moment. I've got to do some travel tomorrow. So we'll see. I might do some of the end-game stuff for Final Fantasy VIII. I might fight some of those bosses. There's like 9 of them, so I might fight some of them tomorrow night just to get them cleared out of the way and then finish the game up on Friday night. So that's kind of the broad plan at the moment. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Have yourselves a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.